That is for, I guess, management and employee sort of situation. I have a maybe not a very uncommon but classic example of upper management. Basically, have a few issues that I want to describe. In general, basically, staff are not getting the support that they need. Basically, if somebody leave or move up or transfer, there's a vacant position. However, consistently, the upper management do not want to fill the position. However, they might give it to other teams that they prefer or they like or whatever reasons. But that seemed to be a norm, because after a while, can be more than a year, the position had not been filled. So we have more workload to deal with, especially with if you have to be on call 24 by 7, your on-call schedule will become tighter and more frequent for weekend on-call and all of that stuff. So that's the main thing. And especially if you in IT or whatever industry, you have to do a lot of upgrades. You're short on people. And the trend is that if another person leave, you're not going to get filled up. And it seems to be the trend in many teams. So we be all getting extra workload. At the same time, it looked like management are not scaling down their hiring as far as management. Okay, so second thing is that we are getting squeezed with a lot of work, and the schedule timeline is very, for example, we have to do this scheduled project, but then they give us a very bad timeline. Like you have to start like 3 in the morning, for example, right? And that is the worst time that your body can function. 2 or 3 in the morning, which is pretty bad. Not only that, if there's a problem or you can prone to make mistakes. If there's any issues, it's going to be very hard to get other people online early morning. All of these problems, and it's basically screw up the rest of your day, or it messes up your body clock. Okay, so that's what management are not really they might favor, because we're using the vendor, so they favor the vendors, which is oversee vendor in terms of their timeline, because of the time difference and other things. So they tend to favor, for some reason, the vendor instead of we are the customer. And basically, there's a lot of micromanaging from upper management level. Staff has to not only report a status report to his or her manager, but we also have to do status report to the upper management. I don't know, your organization is doing that weekly status report. So I don't think that is good, because people are afraid that they're going to use that to actually even curb or even reduce the resource, or seeing that, hey, we're not doing enough, and give people more work. So I don't know, this is common in your organization. We are in public organization, but I think private might be a little bit different, but not in terms of workload. You probably have a lot more workload and more stress, but hopefully you'll be compensated better. Anyway, I mean, that's not the main things. Besides, we're not getting, our time are not valued in terms of, work-family balance by upper management. So what do? Of course, look for a new job is always, always out there. And actually, people start leaving too, which is bad. And we want to do good work, but because I think the quality of upper management, I would say probably F instead of DF, that they don't even care. They only care about their benefits and expanding their club. And in organization, a good organization with staff, I don't think we need a lot of management level. We need project management that understand the work, and we need more hands-on manager. But eventually, essentially the staff will be the one that do all the work, and the organization should empower the staff and compensate them accordingly. instead of hiring manager who a lot of time I don't think they do much. I mean, there are too many of them already, and it's a wasteful way of managing, and with the very high salary they're getting, and what are they gonna do? They're gonna start coming up with all of these projects that most of the time are not needed. Start micromanaging people, so it's actually a lot of time it's not helping, but it make environment worse. And they always preaching, as a one team, but it's not. It's always management and staff, and that's why you have union protests and worker protests, GM, all of that, because the how should I say, worker don't have leverage. At the same time, the benefit being depressed, the work hours, and then they have no saying. So they have to join union, for example, to counter, because most management to me is not good, and we should scale down the management, but it's not happening in the current system. That they keep hiring more and more. That is why they can push employee down. Outsource services, oversee, do all this stuff. And the funny thing is that even in management level, the lower manager always the fall guy. Everything dumb on them, and they don't have any saying, because the system decide to actually give high power, and they'll use it. They'll give the very high authority to the top, to the bottom, and the top most of the time have easy time. They can come whenever they want, and they don't have to. I want them to actually give employees their status report, what they're doing. How many decisions they have to make, right? I mean, not many. And because they're not hands-on, they're out of touch, and they're not really day-to-day operation, they're not involved. And they might go meetings everywhere and come up with project, we gotta do this on a high level, but sometimes, a lot of time, they push projects that are not really needed, or just simply bad or poorly managed, and they'll disappear. So, I mean, people can go to HR and complain, but the thing is that if staff are not united, like one board staff is not like really unified or have one voice, even though a lot of people speak up, to go with HR, you have to be very careful unless you have union. But again, you don't want to stick your head out, and nobody else supporting you in a way. So it kind of bad situation how you force them to change, which is difficult, because you don't really have leverage. I mean, you can, if you have like management evaluation annually, you can give them feedback, things like that. So at the same time, you take one day at a time and just try to stay out of trouble. Take, any time off if you can, things like that. So what do you think? Give me some input. If you're management, if you're staff, I know that, you can always look for a better opportunity somewhere else if your team is being, should I say, squeezed every year, being squeezed, and you can feel it and not being appreciated, even though they say they appreciate it, but they're not. They like keep squeezing you they give you more work. They keep you horrible hour. They're not filling up your vacant positions, and keep you on kind of projects, on kind of learning classes you have to take. It's just overwhelming you. I don't know, they're sending you a message that, hey, maybe you better look somewhere else. Maybe that's what they're sending the message. Or they want to clean up the team and bring some new blood in. I don't know. So what do you think? Let me know. And share your experience with management, upper management, and things like that. I'll talk to you folks later. Bye for now.